Hello, my name is Michael Walker. I'm a Greater Rochester Association of Realtors member, as well as a new member of the Atlanta Board of Realtors here in Atlanta, Georgia. I recently moved down here in January. This week's technology tip, or Tuesday tech tip, is going to be on Evernote. Evernote's a great product that I've been using for five or so years. It gives you the option, this is just a quick screenshot of what it does, of taking notes on your tablet or on your computer or on your phone, taking pictures, taking audio notes, or taking clips of different websites or pages or particular pieces of pages. The notes is pretty self-explanatory. You'll have your iPad or your computer and you can just type a note and it'll save it into a notebook digitally on the internet, which allows you to then access with your computer, your tablet, your phone, or anybody else's computer and just log into evernote.com. The picture here, this is a picture of a camera lens, allows you to snap pictures and assign them to different notebooks. So for instance, at a walkthrough, I'll take a picture of the meter reads so that I have an electronic copy of exactly what I saw and be able to call it in at a later time if needed. The audio notes, if I'm taking a message or a meeting and I needed to take some notes using audio, I can do that. And then snippets, I'll show you a little bit later, being able to snip pieces of the websites. So let's say you were going to show a client a couple properties later on in the day. You can go into your ML Exchange or your Fusion. Fusion's not working for me today, but I can go ahead and select these two properties. What I would then do, if I wanted to show the properties and keep record of that in Evernote, I could go into Print down here at the bottom of the screen. I'm going to print the report, a Realtor Full, save the PDF, and I'm going to name it my buyer, Betty Buyer. I click OK. What that will then do is pull up this PDF version of the Realtor Full. At which point I can review it, make sure everything's good that I like, and you'll see that there's 4 pages. I can go back up here to email. With Evernote, what it allows you to do is it gives you an email address that once anything's sent to that particular email address, it will go ahead and populate in Evernote for you. So I click on attach to the email. It's going to open it all up. My particular email is that for Evernote, which I've saved in Outlook. And once all done, I click send. So now we'll go ahead and navigate over to Evernote. Once you go into Evernote, you'll notice that you'll have the ability to create a lot of different notebooks. And within those notebooks, you'll have sub-notebooks. So you have a general, a miscellaneous inbox. It's at inbox. Then you've got buyers, pendings, expenses, profit share, personal, all sorts of different options that you can put in. Now I've put all these lower ones in. And then you've got a recipe tab if you wanted to put that in there, expenses. This is where it becomes beneficial because you can sort and move things around. So if we go into our inbox, which is all of our different notes that come in, or actually if we go into our note box, you'll notice here that I've got a mailed in note. So the mailed in note came in, and you'll notice that there's 4 pages of the PDF, and you also have the ability to go ahead and annotate and say, didn't like house color, or whatever you wanted to put in there. Once you sync that with Evernote, it will go out to all your other devices. You have the ability to now put it in your particular folder. So if you notice, I can go in here, do the drop-down menu, hit a buyer, and then Betty Buyer. I can also tag. So I can type in Betty Buyer. That way when I go in and search for everything Betty Buyer, it's going to come up there. You also have the ability to email out or put in reminders or share, all sorts of different options. So once I go in now to my notebook for buyers, and then I go into Betty Buyer, you'll notice now that that particular note is right in there. So it makes it easy to find properties that we've shown them, and also have notes on there. If you're using your iPad out in the field, once you come back to an internet connection, it'll go ahead and update all the other different devices as well. So that's one option. The other thing that I like about it is it gives you the ability to annotate. So if we go into this particular site, I went into Bang online and I wanted to go ahead and annotate. Now you remember from last week I used Jing. This is very similar, but it'll also save it within your particular box that you put in, or wherever different notebook that you put in rather. You can draw lines, you can draw arrows, you can put your names on there, you can stamp different things, you can highlight, you can just regular circle, all sorts of different things. You have the ability to screenshot, bookmark a full page, simplified article, or a regular article. So once I'm all done, I click on save. And what that's going to do is then go ahead and clip that particular page with all the different text that I did and go ahead and put it in Evernote. Another option might be if you're a particular baker and you like to bake things. Well, maybe you're searching all recipes and you wanted to save this particular recipe. You can go in here to clip to Evernote. Once you hit clip to Evernote, you can go in, and you can hit a bookmark. And once you hit save, what that will do is again sync that to Evernote. It also works well with Outlook. So if I'm in Outlook and I wanted to save this particular email, I can hit add to Evernote. When I click on add to Evernote, I have the option of going in. It's going to pull up another box, and I can go ahead and save this into Evernote, so everything's right there and easily accessible at any time. Seems to be taking a little bit of time. There it is. I could type in Betty Byer. I can change my notebook and go down to Betty Byer, add note, and that'll go ahead and put that into Evernote. Okay, and now when we go back into Evernote, we go to our particular, we happened to leave Evernote when we were on Betty Byer, you'll notice that email that I put in, that I was able to put into the notebook Betty Byer as well as tag Betty Byer, has been done. It's been uploaded. If I click on sync and I go into notes, there's our apple pie recipe, there's our Bing Maps. And you'll notice what's neat with the recipe one is because I pulled it from a recipe site, it already knows to put it in the recipe folder. I didn't do that. If I go into notebooks and click on recipes, you'll notice that there's the apple pie. When I'm searching through and I want to do something, I can go ahead and click and make this recipe. I can click on that and it'll open up that particular page. Now you might be saying, I'm not always with my computer, I don't always want to be tied to my computer. Well, Evernote has thought of that, and they've actually partnered with Moleskine, which is a nice producer of high quality different notebooks, and they've made an Evernote Smart Notebook by Moleskine. And what they've done is they've included different stickers and different types of ink on the page that allow you to write freehand with pen and paper, and then you may want to dictate that yellow is going to be work and green will be personal. When you take a picture of that with your phone or your iPad, it will know that it's going to Evernote and it'll pop it into that particular folder. So it'll go into the work folder or into the personal folder. It's really a great product. If you're interested in more information on this, you can actually go back to the link that I sent you and click on that, and that'll get you into Evernote so that you can download it. And it is a free product. Works well. You got to play with it a little bit, but it's a great product, and I've really only touched the surface in this 5-minute video. Hope you enjoy it. Thanks a lot, and have a great week.